logging into the Oracle Public Cloud. Let's enter your account name along with your username and password. Once we're signed into the OCI console, let's navigate to Identity Compartments. Here we're going to create a compartment which we'll use throughout the rest of the workshop. In this case, we're creating a compartment named AppDev. Once the compartment is created, now we're going to execute the Cloud Shell. The Cloud Shell will allow us to generate PEM keys, which we'll use later to generate an API key fingerprint. So let's enter the following commands to generate the PEM keys. Now that they're generated, we're going to display them and copy them for use later in the workshop. Now that the keys are saved off in a Notepad document, let's move over to the identity section again. Let's add an API key to your user. Let's also copy the fingerprint, which we'll use later as well. Now we're going to navigate over to the Autonomous Transaction Processing section, and we're going to create two ATP instances. Let's be sure to select our AppDev compartment first. Here we'll enter a database name, a display name. Be sure that your transaction processing option is selected. We're also going to create this on shared infrastructure. We can leave the size as default. Here we'll enter the password for the admin user. And let's click the Create button. Once it's available, let's create a second ATP instance for the user catalog. This will also have the same characteristics as the product catalog ATP instance. Now that our two ATP instances are created, we will now create an Oracle Kubernetes cluster. So let's navigate over to the developer area and select Container Clusters. Here we'll follow the Quick Create option, which will also create an Oracle VCN, Virtual Cloud Network. Here you will see that the Oracle VCN is being created first. Once created, let's close this window. Now you see that the Oracle Kubernetes cluster has been created. Now we're going to create a Visual Builder Studio instance. Let's select the developer option. Let's click the Create Instance. Here we'll enter a name and select the appropriate region. Now that this instance is created, you'll have access to the Service Instance Console. Let's select that. And here we're going to set up the OCI account, which will allow Visual Builder Studio to communicate with the OCI services in your account. So here we're going to enter the tenancy OCID, the user OCID. We'll select the home region. We'll use the private key that we generated earlier. We'll also use the compartment OCID, which we created at the beginning. And lastly, the object storage namespace. Let's click the Validate button to ensure our connections are successful and save them. Let's navigate back to the OCI console and let's create a Visual Builder Cloud service, which is under Platform Services, Visual Builder. Let's enter a name and select the appropriate region again. Once the Visual Builder Cloud service is created, this will conclude Lab 50, and we can now move on to Lab 100. Thank you.